someone left a comment on my channel, and they said the following. Hello, Nicole, how are you? Hey, so I've noticed you make loads of videos every now and then about subjects that happen around the world and your own world as well. And that's pretty cool, dude. Anyways, you ever thought of evolving, switching everything up, and finally evolve to someone in front of a camera who's more passionate about the message? By that, I mean it would be nice to see you sound less formal and more engaged with your topics. Just a thought, though. Anyway, see you. Take care. I know what he means, and that's part of why I try to keep it untranscripted, too, but when or what she means, I guess, but when I'm doing what I'm doing, I gotta be, for one thing, really professional. By the way, I apologize if I look a little lopsided. It's just that I got my right foot up on, what do you call it? One of those pedal things on a wheelchair, because to make a long story short, as far as I can tell, I strained my adductor muscle a little bit, so I'm gonna be in a wheelchair for a while, and I'm just putting my arm up on the bedpost. That's my ADD getting to me. Sometimes I forget what I'm going to say, like, oh, this and oh, that, and my mind's just going everywhere once. Like my dad once described it. He said, because we were doing some joint counseling sessions, and he said, you take those lottery balls, like you see, if you're in my area, like you would see on WJZ, and you take that little lottery ball roller, and then you have like a million of those balls and have them go really quickly. And then that's totally ADD. And so a lot of people aren't going to care. They're going to be like, oh, she's so putting herself into the stories and everything else, and she always talks about herself and this and everything else. Well, I don't want to sound like, God forbid, Beyonce or anyone else, because Beyonce made a comment a while back about how she's more powerful than her mind and her body can comprehend, and she did a pretty nasty Super Bowl show. I got it, baby. She's talented, but she's nasty. But, so I don't want to come off sounding like Beyonce or anyone else who could be quite a bit of an egomaniac, but I do tend to, I think, have a very interesting life story, not one that many people have. I know that there are people who've had it way worse than me and way, way more off the mark in a lot of things than I have, and incidentally, my glasses are dirty also, so I gotta get those cleaned, and people wouldn't believe that I have brown eyes unless they saw that I have brown eyes, because my glasses look like, from what you can tell, my mom once joked, well, they look gray or blue, or whatever. Well, she said they look gray when I have the glasses on and they're dirty like that, but that would be my dad's eye color, and, because his family, as I said before, were Ashkenazi Jews who just really, today I was looking at someone who said, they had said on the Ancestry video that that unfortunate bully known as Colson Genealogy had commented on. He said, this is another guy, this isn't the Colson person, but this is another guy. He said, I feel like Ancestry basically took off of my family tree where members were born and stuff and just pegged them, okay, as part of my ethnicity, whatever, like, okay, if your ancestor was born in Germany, for example, you're automatically German. That's what he felt like Ancestry was doing, instead of really looking comprehensively at the DNA. I'm like, hey, that's what I was thinking too. Like, for example, just because my dad's great-great-grandparents were born in Poland doesn't automatically make them Eastern European. And I think about a lot of these issues too, because like I said, every day I continue to struggle with my identity, and even in class and just every other aspect of my life. For example, one of the problems I have right now is, my weight gain, and I understand that. Someone had made a joke once about Ashkenazi Jews being overweight or something, or she said that, like, religious people tend to be, the more religious Jews tend to be fatter and stuff, I think she said, and I can definitely see why, because in Ashkenaz and in the Ashkenazi Jewish communities, let's just say that and even someone said once about Jews, and she was a Jew herself, she said, the point is we eat a lot. Well, it's kind of funny, it's like, if nothing else would convince me that I was Jewish, it would be that I tend to struggle with my weight. And it's kind of funny because, you think about the, religious Jews tend to be more overweight, da 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 da. Well, imagine that you have a family that assimilates, and that's basically what my family did. And so we got into the more, if you will, Ashkenazi Gentile culture, and we started eating the kielbasa and the pierogies, and you can imagine switching every other weekend from moms to dads and the different variety of cooking that I got and all that. And if you go on every other weekend, you can imagine that you can acquire a taste for some of what's going on. And so, yeah, I probably acquired a taste for that. And if nothing else convinced me that I was Jewish, it would be like, hey, you tend to struggle with your weight and you tend to eat a lot and stuff. And I could probably joke a little bit. Yeah, it's because, as someone once said, Ashkenazi Jews do eat a lot, and we tend to sometimes get into cooking that ain't exactly kosher. I'll put it that way, because some of the stuff, it's good for you in terms of taste, but it's not necessarily good for you in terms of health. Okay, anyway, I'm kvetching, but I'm just saying that if one thing were to convince me, and then I guess the other thing too. Anyway, yeah, I'm kvetching, but you can see sometimes my ADD gets me in all this and trying to connect everything and whatever, but back to, even so, okay, I struggle with the weight issue, and like I said, if nothing else, that would definitely convince me of my heritage, and people are joking about that, and then the OCD and the ADD, and then if you read about the curses in Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26, oh yeah, for example, if I can get my glasses on here, although they are dirty, I can quickly, I usually don't type, well, okay, I type with both hands, but I was eating a salad that my sister had gotten me, because right now I'm a little, for lack of a better term, bound to a wheelchair here, but if you look at the curses in Deuteronomy 28, I'm like, I guess if nothing else too, let's say the weight issue didn't convince me, it would definitely be some of the issues that I've been having and the issues I've seen in my family. Let me read you part of this from Deuteronomy 28. It's from the New King James Version. Let's see, it says, okay. If you do not carefully observe all the words of the law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God, then the Lord will bring upon you, your descendants, extraordinary plagues, great and prolonged plagues, and serious and prolonged sicknesses. Moreover, he will bring back on you all the diseases of Egypt, of which you were afraid, and they shall cling to you. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book of the law will the Lord bring upon you until you are destroyed. You should be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven in multitude, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. And then it goes on, and then it says, then the Lord will scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the earth to the other, and there you shall serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, wood and stone. And among those nations you shall find no rest, nor shall the sole of your foot have a resting place, but there the Lord will give you a trembling heart, failing eyes, and anguish of soul. Your life shall hang in doubt before you. You shall fear day and night, and have no assurance of life. In the morning you shall say, oh, that it were evening, and in the evening you shall say, oh, that it were morning. Because of the fear which terrifies your heart, because of the sight which your eyes shall see. Because you think about all the stuff that I have, okay, ADD, OCD, depression, irritable bowel syndrome, cerebral palsy, just all that stuff. If I look in my own life, and then I look at my family history, and what dads had to go through, and it talks about, for example, you had no assurance of life. It says, and you shall fear day and night and have no assurance of life. In the morning you shall say, oh, that it were evening. That's like classic depression. That's classic suicidal thoughts. That can be definitely because of the OCD and the anxiety, and then you forgot to do this or this, and you wish it was morning so you could get this done, or you wish it was night so just so you could sleep, because, the ADD just wore you out, and you forgot to do this and you got to do that. So, again, I'm kvetching, but you get the point, and I'm trying to give specific examples how literally I struggle with my identity continuously every day, and I'm really trying to still process for the rest of my life. So if I don't always seem as engaged with my subjects, my mind's going off in places, and I'm trying to think of how to put things, and even just as far as, okay, how much do I got to be in this? How much do I got to take myself out of this? How much do I got to relate this part of my life to this life? And, okay, does it relate to my heritage? And does it relate to this? And, oh, is there something I have to do in the background? So it's just been really interesting. And also, anyway, you get the point. And people are going to say, well, this is a bizarre rant. Fine, say it all you want, but also I had other things to focus on as well, and anyway, you get the point, and I hope that gives you a little bit of what I've been going through, and hopefully maybe this isn't as formal either, and we'll see what happens. So, I don't know. There you go, and that's a little bit of an update of what I've been through. And as I said, I tore my adductor muscle, so I'm going to look a little different on camera than I normally would, because I'm probably going to be a little lopsided. And, well, there you go. And I'm trying to find the stop recording button here, and I just found it.